Hello, I'm Cindy Clow, and this is Allie Garrett. And
Hello.
welcome to Anything Routine. And we're so excited to have a very special guest today, Melissa McGhee, who is the head coach of the Ohio State National Champions at the UDA Nationals. And wow, what an event that was.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank
congratulations.
you guys.
That is so, I mean, I'm sure you're still not down from the high of it. It's so emotional, I bet. So
Definitely.
I'm gonna read your bio really quick. So Melissa graduated from the Ohio State University, where she obtained a BS in business admin. She is the current head coach of the Ohio State University dance team. Under her direction, the team won the program's first ever national championship in 2018 and has 13 national championships and 24 UDA National Championship and D1A Jazz and Spirit Program Game Day. After 16 years of studio training, she now consults for dance studios and teams nationally and judges for numerous competitions. And she has been a speaker at Varsity Dance Coaches Conferences, National Dance Coaches Association conferences, and she provides coaches education classes for CLI studios and film classes for intricate training for dancers. She was named NDCA College Coach of the Year in 2020, and she served as the NDCA College President. Wow, you are busy from 20 to 22. And Melissa opened doors to a dance studio in Upper Arlington, Ohio called Lineage Dance Co. So wow. Wow, congratulations for, having all those accolades. That's amazing.
Thank you guys.
So
Happy
to
to be.
Thank you. So to start off, why don't you start? You have questions.
Oh, I have so many questions. I feel like so. I guess my first question, because I was so curious watching, I loved your jazz dance, by the way.
Oh,
Thank
Uh,
you.
what is the storyline of that dance?
Um, that's a good question. I think we started kind of with an open, like, we knew it was going to be instrumental, and so there was a lot of talk about like how specific of a story do we need to, should we let the
Yep.
music sort of lead the way, but ultimately at the end of the day I feel like to have a performance that we wanted we needed to have some sort of like consistency of like what everyone was thinking about, and
Yep.
so actually when Ricky set the opening, it kind of just naturally opened itself up about Dee kind of representing, she's kind of like the soloist that starts
Yep.
outside, representing maybe like the kind of demons and wild thoughts in your head, and how that pushes and pulls throughout your life, really.
Yeah.
And sort of ends in this story of like triumph and being able to conquer any thoughts and kind of do whatever you want to do.
Oh,
So
I love
loosely, that's the concept.
totally makes sense. Like now when I'm thinking about it, I love that. I really loved all the, movement quality and musicality that you guys did. And I feel like sometimes people don't understand like
how
how
difficult.
difficult that in itself is. And I feel like you guys did it so well. It was so clean. Everybody looked so similar and just like, I feel like it looked really tiring. That's what I kept being like,
It
oh,
was,
like, don't stop. And it was, yeah, like so fast and so awesome. I loved it.
thank you so much.
Yeah, and I don't think people that have not done a routine that is so movement quality based,
Mhm.
it's so much harder to clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, his movement is so demanding of your entire, head to toe.
Yeah.
It's not just about your upper body, or, you don't get a lot of time to live in like long reach moments, or,
Yeah.
really feel it. It is really demanding physically, particularly because it was an instrumental piece. The dynamics they had to be so
Yeah.
clear in order for it to elicit, I feel like, what we wanted it to. And so, yeah, I would think anybody would tell you that's the hardest dance we've ever put on the floor.
I could
Um,
totally see that.
You could.
I think the kids may at times thought it was harder than pom, which if you've ever done pom before, that is
Right.
not an easy feat either.
Right.
So
Right.
Right.
I'm sure I that's what I thought when I was watching it. I was like, this is so hard, like so hard to execute the way you guys did. I thought you did it beautifully. So
thank
congratulations
you.
to you on that.
So yeah, congrats. So I know, like, I still coach. We're mother-daughter, by the way. I don't
Yes,
know.
so
Yeah.
cute. I love
And
that.
we're coaching right now, and I know I start thinking already next year what I'm doing. I have a problem that way. When I'm still, we haven't even gone to our state tournament and I'm thinking about next year, but I'm wondering, are you that way? Like, do you already start conceptual, thinking what your concept will be next year? Or are you one that's just in the moment and you get done and then you start over?
I think I have flashes of both. Naturally, I'm a very like type A, forward thinking planner. That's just who I am by nature. So there's always that moment after you get done and you're like, now what?
Yeah.
But I think also at the same time where I've matured a little bit in coaching is to not panic about it, but like
Right.
acknowledge that like the feeling is there and that is who I am by nature. I'm a competitive human being. I want to continue to, move the program forward. But just have a little bit maybe more faith in all of the village that we have around us that like we'll figure it out when the time comes. And hopefully that stays true.
That is amazing. Today's episode is sponsored by Just for Kicks' Performance Tour to the ReliaQuest Bowl in Tampa, Florida. This is a great trip for your studio or school team. It's organized, it's efficient, it's fun, and your kids will have an experience of a lifetime. You do very minimal work, which is fun for coaches and dance studio owners. So if you're looking for a fun event, check us out at justforkicks.com. Tell us about your recruitment process. I know we actually had 2 kids go to one of your recruitment
Last year.
last year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Awesome.
they're funny because they don't even tell us they're going, and all of a sudden I see them
They show up.
in an Ohio State shirt, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
They
that's
loved
awesome.
the clinic. Mhm.
they loved it. Mhm.
That's great. Yeah, we've recruited now almost, I think it's 8 years. I kind of lose
Wow.
track if I'm being honest with you.
Right.
But I had an administrator, she's still my boss right now, or we all have like a sport administrator over our program that her background was in gymnastics. She came over to be a sport administrator and really didn't understand the whole concept of an open audition for a highly competitive program. It didn't make sense to her, not having been in the dance world, where like to us, auditions are very normal. That is sort
Right.
of the
For
standard.
sure.
And so she really encouraged us to look at our selection model, and we changed to recruiting pretty early in the game. And I remember when we did that, people thought we were absolutely nuts. Didn't feel like it would last, felt like it was sort of like a recipe for disaster, and told me all the reasons why that was never going to be a smart choice. Um, but to be honest, it's probably like the best thing we've ever done.
Really?
I think it just, for recruiting for me, I feel like is a relationship, right? It's like 50-50, you getting to know the children and the dancers, and then them getting to know the coaching staff and our team and what our program is all about. And then really I think the magic is finding the ones that fit, where we have what they're looking for and they have what we're looking for.
Right.
And so that's kind of how I think about recruiting. It never stops. I would say that would be maybe the thing that I underestimated a little bit when we switched over. And obviously now has just developed into this like
Huge.
Monster.
monstrosity of a industry, really.
Really it is.
Well, just in the last
Few years.
5 years, it's just
Yes,
got,
I agree with you.
it really has. So tell me about it a little bit. Like, do they send videos? I mean, pretend I know nothing about it for
Yeah.
for listeners that maybe have a college or a dancer on their high school team.
Hmm.
What
Yeah,
would-
I mean, I think that's a great question. It's a common question we get a lot is like, what's the recipe? What are the steps you take? And I think one of the hardest things about recruiting is that there is no one size fits all, because it really depends on, at least for us, I can only speak for us. It really depends on like when we meet each individual, how much we know about them, at what point we're meeting them. Are they a freshman and they're just starting to come to clinics and we get to watch them kind of grow over 4 years? Are they second semester junior and maybe they've actually missed our recruiting deadline for the video submission? So it really depends, but I would say a normal process is usually kids will come to clinics or workshops or summer intensives and see what it's all about. Do they like the school? Do they like the campus? Do they like our team, our coaching staff? Get a flavor for it. If they do, they keep coming. maybe we see them at a recruiting combine where those are, those national events. Um, and then really the first step in the process for us is that video. So we have a June 1 deadline, which is before kids even go into their senior year. It's a guideline. If people are later than that, we're not crazy about it. But what it allows us to do is get our pipeline of kids earlier to match when we have time to actually evaluate them, which is kind of like June, July, August, September. Once we get into October, it's crazy here. I mean, we
Oh,
have
yeah.
basketball, we have football, we have nationals. So, we used to have a September 1 deadline, and then we were like maniacs during that time
Yeah,
trying to figure it
sure.
all out. So
Yeah.
that's the only reason why we moved it up. It's just really for our schedule to like
Yeah.
align a little bit better.
That makes
And yeah, from there we reach out or maybe have a campus visit if they've never been or if they need to get more information. If I need more information on them, maybe I'm going to their studio. It just kind of depends on the kid. And then we extend offers.
Oh, that's so neat.
I love that.
So that's exciting.
Yeah.
I have a question. What do you feel like then, kind of thinking about what you said, like if, for them to get a feel of you guys as coaches and the team dynamic,
Mhm.
what do you feel like is this might be a hard question, but your like coaching philosophy, like what do you hope in those, years that the kids are with you, what your philosophy is and what you want to instill in them?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm very clear about, I think, what our program stands for and what I feel like I stand for and my entire staff. I have two assistant coaches that have been with me a really long time. And to be frank, I couldn't do it without them. We're definitely like
Yeah.
a Three Musketeers unit, very different from each other. So we kind of all balance each other out. But I think why we are all in it and why we all do it together is because we're very aligned on what we think our role is as coaches. Obviously, dance is important. Like that is, I've done it since I'm 2. That's why we're all here. We're passionate about dance. It's in our blood. But to be honest, I very much feel like our job is to make better humans when they leave our program for 4 years.
Yep.
We're very clear, and I don't hide behind the fact that like we are a very demanding program, both inside and outside of the studio. We expect them to be wonderful community ambassadors. We expect them to be people with incredible character and integrity. We expect them to be great students, and we expect them to be the hardest workers in the room, at every practice consistently.
Right. I love
Um,
that.
so that's sort of our philosophy. And we don't really hide behind it. I think we're very clear about that, and we know that our culture and our standards are not for everybody, but I've learned to be really transparent and to just sort of embrace that. I'm super direct. I'm a very honest person, and so if that's not what you're used to or what you're looking for, then like we're not the right program for you. And so we're pretty open about that in our process.
I feel like that sounds similar to how we kind of coach too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Very much.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. In fact, your one line was exactly what she said to the kids yesterday.
Yeah.
So
About being better people.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like at the end of the day, not everybody's going to continue to be a professional dancer.
Right.
We've been lucky that I've had more and more as we've grown to continue to dance, and I personally love to see that. But we also have people that like know that at the end of the road they're going to be doctors or physical therapists or whatever it is, and I want to make sure that their application is the strongest in the bunch, and they interview the best of all the candidates. So
I love that. So kind of switching gears, I don't know if you care if I'm jumping here,
no, I
but
don't care.
something I was really thinking about yesterday is how you guys handle and like how you kind of coach your kids to handle social media. Because I feel like, in the last like even 2 years, I feel like it's
yeah.
just spiraled. And like I was on TikTok and I was thinking to myself the other day, like how sad when you see, like you see so many awesome things, but then you see so many really negative things that go viral and people nitpicking individual dancers. And it's just like so crazy. And I know like, yes, you can have thick skin, but at the same time, like it hurts, when you've put so much effort in and worked so hard.
For
And so
sure.
coach them to handle that.
Yeah, I mean, you've hit the nail on the head with everything that you've said. I think I am a proponent that social media can be a really powerful thing. I
Right.
think it has propelled our industry forward
For
and
sure.
given it
For sure.
exposure, awareness, reach to
Mhm.
people we would have never had if TikTok
Right.
isn't you
For
know,
sure.
as big of a thing, or Instagram even. But to your point, there's this other sort of like side of it's a double-edged sword, and
Yeah.
that has been incredibly challenging. I would agree with you over the past 2 to 3 years, but particularly as of late. And I just think that, my message to the team has always been, and we're very transparent, we're very honest. We treat them as adults. They're 18 and over. They're not,
Right.
we don't have high schoolers.
Right.
So we're very open and transparent about like, this is out there. This is what's happening. This is real. Like we
Yep.
acknowledge it, but we also have to be really clear and intentional about where we're spending our energy,
Yep.
about whose opinions do you really consider,
Right.
about what really at the end of the day matters.
Right.
And that was a really big challenge this year because at every turn, even if you stay off of it, it's being sent to you,
Oh, yeah.
through our dance network and people that care and all of the things. And so I think that was really challenging. I will never, ever, ever condone intentionally leaking someone's video or highlighting a dancer individually. We are a team sport for a reason.
Yep.
That will never, ever be okay. And so, I think some people are really gonna have to take a look in the mirror, and just question like do you really need to do that? Is that really the character you want to have as a
Right. You can
human?
have videos leaked, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, just all over, and not with positive intent. We had a basketball manager who had the best intent in trying to support us, leak our video for 5 minutes, and I loved him for it. He was trying to be supportive of
Right.
the dance team. Like, when do you see a women's basketball team support a dance team?
Yeah. Right.
Um,
It's so cool.
Yeah, like that to me was like I had no problem about it. But then you have the people that take the video and post it with poor intent, and
Yeah.
that's to me where the difference is, and it's the intention and what are you really trying to do with your platform?
That's where I think there's so many people right now that are just trying to get likes and trying to go
Yeah.
viral. So they just say things to try to get people to reshare it. And yeah, you just see some like really icky things. It was making me frustrated yesterday because I'm like, so many of these teams, at nationals are so incredible for many different reasons. Like
Oh my
everyone
gosh.
has their
There.
things that they're so great at.
Right.
So then like to see people just tear these athletes down that have worked so hard is really frustrating.
Yeah, and we all have a right to have our own opinion. It's just a
Right.
matter of like how you share it and what is your intention at the end of the day. To your point, like certainly we get a lot of attention in the who's going to win whatever, but every single team in every division that goes to nationals works so hard and has spent
Oh,
so
yeah.
many hours with
Yeah.
their coaches, their choreographers, their circles, trying to get ready for their 2 minutes on stage. And I just will never ever condone anything that tears a team down or takes anything away from what a team did on that stage. So
Right.
in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to be and they're young. That's what's hard is like you
Right.
look at people in politics or whatever. We don't want to go there, but
No.
how they have to have very thick skin because it's a constant flood of criticism. But when you're
Right.
a college athlete, I don't know. It just seems like people could have a little restraint, but they don't. So you mentioned so I'm switching gears here. I'm a huge fan of Ohio State and for many reasons. Like, believe it or not, I don't even know if you know this, but we were at a bowl game one year and many years ago in the Ohio State marching band.
Oh, I know you love the Ohio
Oh
State
my
marching
God,
band.
they're
I did
so
know
good.
that.
So I used to be a twirler, so I was into the
Oh my
marching.
gosh, so was my mom.
Really? Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So anyway, I liked them so much that I actually flew a guy in
Oh, I did know
to
this.
work with our team from Ohio State, but he was the marching band director, and I think his name was
Wow.
Ed Barry. I don't know, but everything at Ohio is class. I will just say that. Like I
Thank
met
you.
Kim Bagley, your strength.
Oh my gosh. She's the best.
She's the best. And
Yeah, we took a class from
we
her.
took a
She was
class from
great.
her at Nationals, and then she actually did a Zoom class at our camp. And
That's right. I didn't know that.
yeah, she was fabulous. And then Jamie, his name's not coming to me.
Dr. Hull. Yeah.
yes, Dr. Hool. He did a class with our coaches, and I just respect the support that your program is given. And it, for someone like me who's come through the trenches and we were never anything back in the day. To see athletes supported the way you guys are with your psychologist, with your trainer, with your school, it's just an amazing thing.
It is really cool.
And kids need to appreciate that, how far it's come, and just what a great university it is.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. I agree with you. I was on the team for 4 years before I coached. And it was during the time we were a club sport. So we had nothing in athletics. No one even knew that we existed.
Right.
We didn't have the talent these kids had either. So I don't know. There's a little correlation there, but I would say like one of my most rewarding parts of my 14 years that I've done this has been watching that evolution of even getting the opportunity to be under athletics.
Right.
And then kind of really working to just get the recognition and get people to understand what we do and understand what level that we do it at. And we didn't always do that. So it's also like been in tandem of like, pushing the team to be better, but then also the better they got, we could then go fight with administration and hopefully get some more recognition or another perk or another benefit. And so
Yeah.
it's been a really cool journey to be a part of.
Yeah, it is so cool.
So do you think there will come a day when dance teams at college will have scholarships?
It is my lifelong goal.
Yeah.
This is my mission in life, I think, at this point. I've always been obviously like loyal to Ohio State. I went there, I've coached there, but like my personal passion, and people make fun of me for this because I'm always talking about it, is really the industry. I just think it has been really misunderstood for a really long time. And to be fair, there were points in its history where maybe it didn't deserve what all of the athletes get anymore, but not anymore. What people
Right,
are doing
exactly.
now and what it is incredible. And so I think we'd have to have some pretty massive change in how we're organized and what that looks like. But I'm a big dreamer, so I'll never say never.
Yeah, and I think baby steps. I mean, I think everything
Right.
that's happening, like obviously we're from Minnesota, so we know Amanda well, and she used to work
Yes.
camp, so have a lot of happy memories with Amanda. But I just think the fight that they've been through and finally
Yeah.
getting some TV coverage has been huge.
Yeah.
Like for WCCO that's our station here in Minnesota, for them
Mhm.
cover nationals and have it on the news. And it's interesting that one of the people on the news, she used to be a high school dancer at a very great team in Minnesota. So she works for the news. So
she's really pushed hard.
She's pushed hard and she got that. And I think it's helped everybody really.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you're finally covering college. Yay. Now let's get some high school on there,
Yeah.
because
Well,
it's
and dance in Minnesota is unlike anything else I've ever seen in my life. So it is well deserved. And, anytime any one of us can take a step forward, truth be told, it helps all of us.
right.
And so I
For
think
sure,
that's also something that I don't think really understand is like the camaraderie and the
Oh,
collaboration of all of us at this D1A level, but even beyond to, answer a call if someone needs something or provide stats or pull data or how did you do this? How did you approach this? I think that's also really unique to dance team. It doesn't really happen in football or
no,
basketball.
I would agree, that you're telling people your secrets and
Yeah.
You're like the queen of
so
that, I think.
I know I do it too much, but you know
I
what?
love that though. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I feel that's great. So what else have we not talked about that is important and pivotal for Ohio State?
Oh gosh. I mean, I could probably talk for hours. We've just been through, we've been through a lot in the last 14 years. I think,
How long you
what's
only been coaching?
14. Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think what's been interesting is this year, maybe, which is maybe not something that um, has really like hit the light, is the change in college football playoff
Oh,
and the demand that is put on the team at the same time that they are preparing for their own national championship. It's crazy. The home football game on December 21st, we've never had to navigate that. then going to the Rose Bowl, then planning for the Cotton Bowl. We didn't end up going to the Cotton Bowl. Cheer ended up going, and then we went to the national championship the day after we
Oh my gosh.
were in Orlando. That has been crazy,
I-
absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine. And now that I'm thinking about that, we were at the ReliaQuest Bowl in Michigan. I met the coach from Michigan, and she was there doing that right before it's time to go to nationals. And it's like crazy. Pull
You
up
met her
these
there
kids.
this year?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Karen, she's the best.
Yes, I met her up in the, we were in the room planning the halftime activities
Oh,
and
okay.
stuff. Yeah, so she was very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's just, I think that's unique about Ohio State is any sport that is here, you have to be the best. That is the standard. Doesn't matter. We have 36 sports here. Doesn't matter if it's synchronized swimming, they are amazing. Or you're more normal, men's basketball, football, women's basketball. That's just sort of the standard. And it's a big demand on the team that I don't know that always people always understand that, but it also creates really once in a lifetime opportunities for them as well.
Oh, absolutely. Like I love when schools have a standard of excellence because why would, I just think it's the way to be. Obviously, that's how
I
we
agree.
run the program and it's very prestigious to be a part of something that is a standard of excellence. And I just think so many coaches are not competitive enough. That's what always,
Mhm.
I always am like, get competitive. If you're going to be a
Yeah.
coach, be competitive.
Right, because kids
I
want to
agree.
do well, like they want to be successful too.
So tell me
Yeah.
about your training program. So I know you're in the weight room, assuming you're in ballet, or what
Yeah.
do you do to train? I shouldn't assume anything, but
Yeah, no, you're right on. Coach D, or Kim, as you called her, has been such a massive, honestly, part of our program. She picked us up the first year and we were in athletics. And she's been with me ever since. She has the same coaching philosophy as me. It is, yes, about getting stronger in the weight room, making sure you have the stamina, all the things. But at the end of the day, her investment in the kids as better people is also priceless. I'm sure you gathered that from being
oh,
around her even 60 seconds.
yeah,
So,
just loved her. Yeah.
yeah. And she's just been a huge advocate for like female sport recognition, and what she's done as a strength coach as a female is kind of crazy. She's been around for 30 plus years. So they train with her 3 times a week. And the phases differ depending on what phase of our season we're in. So obviously when we're in intense national season, we're not killing them in the weight room, but maybe we're working more on stamina and making sure they can get through routines and things like that. Whereas like when we come back after nationals, we can really refocus on building strength, circuit training, things of that nature. So she also trains our synchronized swimming team. So we have that like core stability, lines matter,
Yeah.
similar sort of training elements across the program. So that's always been kind of nice with her as well.
That's
It's
cool.
so similar. I have to get this in here. I used to be a synchronized swimmer for a short time.
I could never do it.
Oh, it's so hard. It is
Yeah.
so much like dance.
I've been watching a lot of synchronized swimming because my 3-year-old is weirdly obsessed with watching synchronized swimming. So
Guess who got
That's so cool.
Yeah, it is so
Yeah.
similar though, but the strength is very
oh, I can
similar.
imagine
It's very similar. Yeah, but the cardio with
Yeah.
that is crazy.
So demanding.
Here's the big question, like how many times do you run it to get the,
Oh yeah, I'm
you know,
curious about that
curious,
too.
like how do you keep their cardio up without killing them off over
Yeah,
you?
it's such an interesting balance. I
It is.
don't know that there's a coach out there that has found the like perfect
Right.
number or perfect strategy. And I would say for me, it's like my approach has changed over the years because as our routines have gotten more demanding, it's almost at times scary knowing how long you've rehearsed to be like, okay, let's just see how it goes, with what they're doing at the level that they're doing it. Back in the day, we used to run the routines 3, 4 times a practice. It wasn't even a thing. But now it's like,
They're
you
so
have to be really strategic about building their confidence, giving them reps, but also making sure that they're not getting injured with what they are doing on repeat. Because that's the problem with what we do is like your 2 or 3 routines, you are doing so repetitively at a high intensity level in a really condensed period of time. It is a recipe for injury.
Right. Yeah.
So we've really
Makes
tried to be more strategic, but there's no way around it. I mean, you have to run the routine. You have to build their stamina. You cannot get stamina for dance from anything but dancing.
I
You
agree,
can build lung
100%.
capacity,
Yep.
but to actually have the stamina to do the routine, they have to do the routine.
Right.
Right.
So, we're working in the weight room on bike sprints that are, 2.5 minutes long or whatever sort of the cardio burst is for that, high intensity level, but it still isn't,
The
it
same.
can't replace
Yeah.
doing the routine.
For sure.
Yeah.
I fully agree
Yeah,
with
I
that.
fully agree.
How long do you guys take off now, like that nationals is over? Do they get a little break before they start in the weight room and
Yeah.
stuff again?
Yeah, I've always been committed to a minimum 2 weeks. Now we have basketball games. We have a football national championship celebration on Sunday that got added. There's things that just get added because,
Yeah.
again, it's the Ohio State side of things. But from our programming and from our weight room and practices, I've always given them 2 weeks. They earned it. They deserve it. What we did in the last month and a half was maybe insane. So
Right.
I just feel like, that's the least we could do. And to get their bodies back. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I
Yep.
think we have 6 or 7 that are, probably going to be off even longer than that. So
Yeah. That recovery, yeah.
So
So
do you
hard.
have many injuries this year? Did you or?
this year, yes, we did. I just think it ebbs and flows. I don't really think there's a rhyme or reason. I think it depends on the kids. What has their history been? What is it chronic? Is it new? Now we're bringing kids in with issues because of the level that they've trained and the
Yeah.
high school
Right.
level. It's just different, So
Yes.
we're lucky we had an amazing trainer. We have an amazing trainer. We have an amazing medical staff. I trust them with my life, and I think they have best in class resources. But yeah, I mean, I've been through it on the injury front. We just as coaches, it's part of the gig. So
Right.
Right.
Do you have extra I'm assuming you have extra dancers like alternates or swings, whatever you call them.
yeah, absolutely. We've always had alternates. We had to use alternates this year. I had a kid that freshman, I think late December. Oh yeah, right at the end of December, like December 30th. Had a knee injury and she was out. So
Oh,
I've always said this. I've never cast the routines and had the exact same rosters hit the stage in 14 years.
Oh, right. Us either. Yeah.
yeah.
So I think that just speaks to the importance of everybody's role and being prepared. And we have a smaller roster, so it's not like we have some teams have a lot of people on the sides. That's not us. So
Okay.
Yeah. How many dancers do you have on your roster then? Like,
we're at 22, so we've gone up to 24. That's probably the number I'm most comfortable with, especially with the rules at UDA changing a little bit, and being able to dance more. But we had 22 this year. So
Wow.
awesome.
And how many do you have graduating right now?
I have 5 seniors. Yeah.
Okay.
They're a great class. Really special class for us. So
Well,
they came
so
in during COVID and yeah. So
how do you balance owning a studio?
Yeah.
And I don't even know if you have a family.
yeah, no kids, so that is helpful. Yeah, it's crazy. I had always had a dream of owning a studio. I was a studio kid growing up. And during COVID, actually, I had some time to just kind of like think we all did, right? Like we weren't doing
Right.
anything. So I decided to just go visit. I knew exactly where I wanted to open it if I ever did. It's like a little um suburb right by campus, like 10 minutes down the road. And so
Okay.
I went to this shopping center. I was like, if I ever open a studio, I'd want it to be here. Like it's so cute. There's, it's a Whole Foods and like lots of little cute shops, great families in the area. And I like blindly emailed the contact and was like, hey, do you have any space that would be great for a dance studio? And they wrote back and they're like, we actually have a vacant dance studio sitting
No way.
in the back that was built out that I had no idea about. And it was vacant.
Wow.
Just sitting there. Mirrors
So cool.
built out as a studio.
Oh, that's
Like,
amazing.
yeah. And so for me, that was like a sort of a God moment. I'm a pretty faith-driven person. And so I was like, well, I think that this sort of means I need to like do something about the dream that you've sort of sat on for a long time.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
So we opened the doors 3 years ago.
Wow. So
That's
do you teach there often, or do you have more like,
The goal is for me to, yes, teach once a week. Ironically, at the same time I opened the studio, we had some structure changes with Ohio State. I ended up moving into a role over our cheerleaders and mascots, so sort of over
oh my
all
gosh,
of the elements of spirit. And so that quickly changed my plan.
I bet.
But it's okay. We've adapted. I have an incredible staff at the studio. I've been able to hire some of my own kids from the team. I just hired my first full-time sort of employee was on my team for 4 years, and now is kind of running the studio with me. So it's been a really cool um, synergy. But I do a lot of the behind the scenes, all the financial strategy, real estate, all of that stuff I do. But day to day, I've got a great staff.
Well, gosh, I can't think of anything else. It's just been great. I would love to have you speak in Minnesota sometime if you ever want to in July. So
oh yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
email you.
I,
Coaches would love to hear you.
for sure.
yeah, I love talking to coaches. I think I was, 22 when I started to coach and I had absolutely no clue what I was doing.
Right.
And it was only honestly through the grace of God and people that were willing to help me out and teach me things along the way that sort of figured things out a little bit. So I'm pretty passionate about that part of things.
Yeah, it pay it forward. That's great.
Yes,
So,
always.
well, thank you so much. We're
Yes,
so
thank you.
thrilled to have you on here.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity.
Best
Yeah,
of luck moving forward.
congrats to you and your team.
And
They were
congrats
amazing.
again. We didn't talk about your cool palm thing. I loved it.
She did. She always is like last year we at our palm class at our studio. She was like, I really want you to use fish line because I used to do it with palms and we'd drop them and people wouldn't know and then we'd pull them back up.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you're really loving this right now, aren't you?
I love that.
And
I
awesome.
love it.
You guys are so talented and
It's
congrats.
just amazing. Well, thank you so much. And
Yeah, thank you guys.